Come and see, Fräulein.
Incredible.
Isn't it just? You see these flags? Each mechanism housing for each musical automaton on the square is represented by one of these flags.
Fascinating.
Today is the day they are being serviced. Each mechanism has been inspected by an Academy maintenance man. In theory, they're all functional. But if you like, you can go and see these maintenance men on my behalf and fetch back their respective reports. You would be doing me a big favor, as I have to inspect the piano in the kiosk. And also, it will give you a chance to take a peek at each of the automaton mechanisms.
Thank you very much for choosing me for this task, Frau Beckmann, but why me?
Consider it a reward for being one of the best students of the Academy. And it looks to me like you need something to take your mind off your worries. Now, take this. You'll need it to open the maintenance room that leads to the most impressive mechanism of all, that of the clock tower.
Thank you, Frau Beckmann.
Do you have any questions before you go?
When the mechanical orchestra played along with me last spring, it was incredible. But how does it manage to play at the same tempo as the piano? It was almost like in a dream.
Oh, it wasn't dream work, Fräulein, but clockwork. The piano is connected to the mechanism that you are going to inspect, and the hymn of Wagen played on the keys. That's what sets the rhythm and the intensity of the performance, and that's what triggers everything else.
Do you know who built the mechanical orchestra? My father told me it didn't exist when he was young.
They were built by a strange young French inventor by the name of Vorarlberg some years ago. From what I heard, he was visiting Wagen while en route to the east, just after the huge fire that destroyed the town. He was moved by the legend of Vera Schönberg, that virtuoso who died in the fire. So he offered his talents to rebuild the city and create the mechanical orchestra.
What happened to Vera Schönberg? My mother always says it's the saddest story.
And she's right. You probably know that Vera Schönberg was Wagen's most famous musician at the beginning of the century. But her legend was truly born the night she performed a cello concerto, right here on the square. It was also the night of the worst fire in Wagen's modern history.
And Frau Schönberg, she died in the fire, right?
She did, as well as all the other musicians and the entire audience. They were surrounded by flames, trapped on this square.
How dreadful.
Dreadful indeed. But according to the legend, Vera Schönberg kept playing Wagen's hymn until the very end. She understood they were all doomed to die, and her music brought them peace of mind during their last moments. This automaton you played with last spring was created in her image as a final tribute.
I had no idea.
Well, now you know all about the legend of Vera Schönberg. Was there something else, Fräulein Rose?
I'll go and see the maintenance team.
Good. Thank you, Fräulein.
According to Frau Beckmann, it opens the maintenance room just next to the clock tower.
You'll find the maintenance man next to each of the music.
You can tell, Frau Beckman, this automaton still works correctly, but it's so filthy that it won't last long. It's going to take me the whole day to give it a good clean if it's to get past winter.
I can hardly believe I held my concert here just 6 months ago. 6 months. Seems like a lifetime. So much has happened. Meeting Leon for a start. It would be so good if he were here now. I love receiving his letters since he left to Baltea with the Origin expedition. The way he described Kantar, the capital, made it sound like a city from a dream. We've said so much on paper. And I love to read between the lines. But since the expedition left Kantar for the mountains, no news. I just hope he's okay.
So you're the one Frau Beckman sent, are you? Well, you can tell her there's no problem with this automaton. Just needs cleaning up and a bit of oiling. Have a gander at the mechanism if you like.
The maintenance man said it was functional. I shouldn't touch it.
Looks like the rector was right, Oscar. I should be able to find the mechanisms he wants me to repair by following the circuit Dana described in the report.
They would still need to be accessible to us today, Kate Walker.
Glad to see you haven't lost any of your legendary optimism, my dear Oscar. Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Well played, Kate Walker. You seem to be on the right track to successfully completing the service the Rector asked of you.
Thanks, Oscar. But I still have to find the other mechanisms.
Frau Beckmann told me to look at the mechanisms on the square. I wonder what they look like, especially now that they've been inspected by the maintenance men.
A part of the mechanism was damaged, but I changed it. You can tell Frau Beckmann everything's in order now.
I don't believe it. Because of that van, I can't get to the mechanism. I'll have to find a way to move it.
Something to drink? The cappuccinos are on special offer today.
Wagner Baufirma, Dietrich. Guten Tag.
Hello, excuse me, but your van's parked on the square and it's blocking the way. Would you mind moving it?
Oh, sorry about that. I'm with a client nearby. I'll move it right away.
Thank you.
This looks complex.
I wonder what it's supposed to represent. It's locked. There's no air flowing through. I must have missed something. It's locked. There's no air flowing through. I must have missed something. Half done. Let's see what's next.
Oh, it had to fall to me.
Frau Beckmann told me to look at the mechanisms on the square. I wonder what they look like, especially now that they've been inspected by the maintenance men.
Come back and see me once you've got the reports from the 4 maintenance men.
Hey, careful what you're doing here, right? Don't go and injure yourself or damage any of the material.
The spare parts for the automatons on the square.
I just come down from the tower. You can tell Frau Beckmann everything's in order up there. The mechanism's in perfect condition.
According to what the maintenance guy told Dana, there should be an access to the clock tower somewhere in the room.
Everything's fine upstairs. Nope.
Looks locked. I can't go in. According to the report, We can access the clock tower mechanism through this building. The elevator Dana saw during her inspection must be right here, behind the door. I need to find a way to reach it.
Ah, Fräulein. So, anything else I can help you with?
Well, I need to get to the back room of the shop.
This shop?
Yes, if you don't...
I'm sorry, but it's strictly forbidden to the public. Besides, why would anyone want to go back there?
Well, it seems that the back room has the only access to the clock tower, which is where I need to get.
I'm sorry, but it's against company rules. I can't allow it, Fräulein.
Okay, thanks anyway. Okay, I need to find another way in. The elevator Dana saw during her inspection must be right here, behind the door. I need to find a way to reach it. I should be able to get through it, if I can reach it. Good. Now I just have to find the elevator to the clock tower.
Must I remind you that we are here illegally, Kate Walker? The employee will be very surprised to see you coming out of his back room.
According to the report, the elevator should be behind there. Let's hope it hasn't been walled. There. Okay, just need to clear the passageway. They're still magnificent, in spite of their age. I wonder how long it's been since they were activated. engine. Now I should open those large doors.
I should go back and see Frau Beckmann.
The report ends here. Looks like spare parts for automatons. Three working now. One more to go. Excuse me. Hello?
Now what?
Why is the academy going to close?
For the simple reason that we have no students. No students, no lessons. No lessons, no academy.
And why are there no students? That's not a stupid question.
Because the mayor has taken away our grant that enabled our institution to become famous the world over.
Why would he do that?
Oh, budget restrictions, apparently. So, no staff, no students.
No students, no lessons. I get it.
But, between you and me and this counter, I'd say that's all just a pretext to get us out of the building.
And why would anyone want to do that?
To make others rich, of course. Property developers who are going to slice our institution up into shops, apartments, and office spaces, just like they've done with all the other buildings around the musical square.
There's just one problem. Even if I do manage to fix all the different parts of the mechanical orchestra, I still have to play the piano properly, and I haven't played piano since I left junior high. My mom bought me one when I was a kid, but it really wasn't my strong suit.
There's no need to worry. You don't need to be a virtuoso to activate the mechanism. The mechanical orchestra will come out if you play all the notes in the right order. Regardless of the rhythm, you just need to know the basics of music reading.
I see you're not a fan of modernizing the square.
Oh, the council, in its great wisdom, deemed it outdated and unpredictable for the musical automatons to be triggered by the best student in the academy, or a soloist, or a virtuoso visiting Vargan. Not to mention buskers, they certainly don't attract any tourists. No, what they thought was they would electrify and computerize the activation of the mechanical concert. So it would happen on a schedule, like an attraction.
Did they do it?
Oh, the talks went on and on, but nothing was ever done. And so the square has basically been abandoned. And the mechanical automatons have fallen into disrepair.
I'd better get going then.
Quite. Good luck with the mechanisms, Fraulein.
Three working now. One more to go. I can't open it like this. It looks like it's been mechanically I don't think I'll be able to open it directly. Given the condition of that door, it should give way if I force it a bit.
Impossible, Kate Walker. Such an act is illegal.
Let's just hope that no police come by here. Okay, I think this is the last one.
That's right, Kate Walker. You have to go back and activate the piano on the square like the rector asked you. It looks like this wheel is designed to activate the piano's engine thanks to the dynamo effect, Kate Walker.
Then I guess I'm gonna have to put my thinking cap on again. I can't play. The engine is off. Okay, the sheet music is in place. Poor little thing.
There is no need to get sentimental, Kate Walker. The automaton was made for a specific purpose. It has no notion of sentiment. Indeed, I would go as far to say that it was a basic monofunctional automaton, unlike some of us more evolved automatons, built to serve several purposes.
Broken.
That doesn't work.
Wait, Kate Walker, I am a highly evolved automaton.
Yes, and built to serve several purposes. Off you go now.
I see. You still haven't lost any of your irritating habits, Kate Walker.
Look on the bright side, Oscar. Thanks to you, the piano works now.
Well, hurry up and make use of it like the rector said. Everything all right, Kate Walker?
It's the same. Exactly the same.
I beg your pardon?
The song I just played with the automatons, Vaughan's hymn, it's exactly the same melody as the one my mom's music box used to play. I used to listen to it all the time when I was a kid. We never did find out what it was.
And finding it today represents a major breakthrough because?
Because it means that there must be a link between Vaughan, my mom, and probably Dana, too. Dana, who looks so much like me.
Ah, a family connection then.
I don't know, but it's possible. And you can be sure as hell that I'm gonna find out as soon as I've picked up Dana's trail again. Come on, Oscar. Our dear Mahler owes us a file.
Did I already mention how humiliating I think this is?
Oh, you did, Oscar. You did.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed your concert so much. Now I can retire fulfilled.
Glad to have been of service. I believe you have a file for me.
Of course, of course. Here it is. Dana Rose, just like you asked.
Thanks. At last! Oh, no address here. Oh, this is definitely Dana's file. Now, the address. Dana's home address in 1937. A detached house, it seems. Number 20, Brücke del Nebel. The Bridge of Mists, huh?
Found what you were looking for?
I think so. Well, thank you. And goodbye.
No, thank you, Fraulein.
you out as soon as possible, okay? Okay, Oscar. Now we have to find Dana's old house.
Do you recall the number, Kate Walker?
According to her registration form from the Music Academy, it was number 20. The bridge is exactly the same as it was back in the 1930s. Except that it's cleaner. It looks almost new, as if it had been renovated.
Wrong one.
I was not conceived to perform this function, Kate Walker.
Whoa! That's one shrill version of the Hymn of Vagan. One thing's for sure, this souvenir wasn't made in Vagan. A book about Vagan's history during the war. Maybe it could be useful later. Looks like the residents on the bridge are pretty mad at the town council. There's number 20. Dana's old house.
Guten Tag, Fraulein. on holiday in the region, Fraulein?
Just passing through.
Well, welcome to my little gift shop. Frau Heigl at your service.
I must say you have a beautiful shop, Frau Heigl.
Thank you, Fraulein. All our souvenirs are made for excellence, as we like to say here, all by local craftsmen. Were you looking for something in particular?
Well, I'm actually looking for someone, not something. Someone who used to live in this house, and I was wondering if you could help.
Well, there were quite a few owners before I bought the shop last autumn, so I can't really...
So her name was Dana Rose. She lived here before the war. I was hoping to find some kind of trace of her here, so I could continue my search.
I see. Well, I have heard of the Roses, but I can't say if there's anything left of them inside the house.
But don't you live here?
No, my husband and I live in the suburbs. You see, the bridge was sacked just before the war, during the pogrom against the Vagrants. Oh, truly awful events. And then the neighbourhood was bombed, just after the war during the liberation. And many of the houses were damaged, including this one. They were hastily renovated after the war, but they remain mostly derelict.
You mentioned a pogrom against this neighborhood's vagrant community. Can you tell me more?
As much as anyone who knows anything about Wagen, I guess. It happened in 1938, if I recall correctly. A few months after Austria and Ostertal were annexed by the Brown Shadow.
What happened?
Well, the Brown Shadow organised riots against Vagrants on false pretexts. It led to pogroms throughout all the annexed countries, including this house.
Were the Roses home when it all happened?
Like I said, Fraulein, I don't know, but I hope not.
Well, it doesn't look like the house was damaged from what I can see. Your shop is charming, and so is the rest of the district.
Thank you. That's because after the initial renovation, the council financed major rehabilitation work on the facades. But if the truth be told, they left the proprietors to foot the bill for our interiors. That's why my husband and I had to spend all our savings so that the shop interior shows the same high standard that we demand of our suppliers.
That's a shame.
Yes, and if the council persists in refusing to help fund the renovation works, there won't be any residents left on the bridge, let alone independent quality stores like mine. There'll be nothing left but bland franchise stores, like the one further along the bridge or on the musical square.
So between the pogrom, the bombing, and the whole house being renovated, there's little chance of me finding any trace of the Roses.
It's not quite like that. To be honest, we didn't have the funds to renovate the rest of the house, so we used the upper floors for storing.
Really?
And now that you mention it, I do recall coming across old photographs from before the war, here and there in the house. The successive owners didn't want to throw them out, and I suppose they must have left them there.
Would you mind if I went upstairs to take a look? Unless you would kindly bring the photos down yourself.
Well, I can hardly leave the shop unattended while I go... I don't even know you, Fräulein.
I see. In that case, would you mind if I had a look upstairs myself?
Don't take it personally, Fraulein, but I don't know you enough to trust you. I'm very sorry. Now, if you'll excuse me, Fraulein, I have a customer.
I conjecture that you were inefficient in trying to persuade the shopkeeper, Kate Walker. How are you going to access the upper floors now?
I don't know, Oscar. By getting creative, I guess.
I conclude I can trust you on that score, Kate Walker?
Made in Wagen.
Must have got it wrong.
Don't even think about it, Kate.
No, I don't think so.
What's that awful noise? Excuse me, sir. Ah, there it is. How awful. That certainly doesn't belong in my shop. We don't sell such cheap and tacky items.
Great. I don't think Frau Heigel's noticed a thing.
Why don't you try to locate Dana Rose's room, Kate Walker? Then you can look for more clues about her.
Good idea. Let's just hope Frau Heigel won't come up. This photo shows the house partially destroyed. Must have been taken after the bombing that preceded the liberation of Wagen. This is where Frau Heigel must take her breaks. In remembrance of the eternal bond between the Roses and the Zimmers. Signed, Adam Z. It's dark in here. Hardly surprising with those windows boarded up. More stock for the shop. Nothing of interest in here.
Just what I needed. Just what I needed.
A double bed, plenty of space. Must have been Dana's parents' bedroom. So where's Dana's room then? The number of rooms don't add up. A family portrait. That must be Dana with her parents. It's been bricked up. Most likely during the post-war renovation works Frau Heigl spoke of. It's been bricked up. Most likely during the post-war renovation works Frau Heigl spoke of. There was a photo on top of these shelves on the first floor.
It might give you a clue as to the whereabouts of Diana Rose's room.
According to the light and the clock behind Dana, her room must face north. Huh. The bedroom in the background of the portrait must be located in the attic. That's it, Oscar. I think I know where Dana's room is.
Enlighten me, Kate Walker.
Well, one of the photos shows a bedroom that's not on the second floor, right? And we know that the staircase was bricked up during the renovation and led to another floor. So that's got to be where we'll find Dana's missing bedroom.
It seems plausible, indeed.
It does. And if we're lucky, the room might be pretty much like Dana left it all those years ago, and potentially with clues to put us back on our track. I've just got to find a way to get to that third floor bedroom.
Seeing as you failed to create a positive bond with Frau Heigl, the next rational step would be to take a look outside the building, Kate Walker.
You're right, Oscar. Let's go and see. In your opinion, Oscar, how can I reach Dana's bedroom?
The inside stairway is walled up, but there might be another way to the upper floor.
Nothing of interest in here.
You should try to reach Diana Rose's room from the outside, Kate Walker. I recall there are fire escape stairs on the side of the house.
Oscar, I need your opinion on this.
Ah, that's better.
Looks like that fire escape staircase serves every floor of the house.
That is correct, Kate Walker. Perhaps you should find a way to use it.
Better try something else.
So what do you think, Oscar?
I think I would have liked a body with longer front legs.
I was talking about the window up there. Must be Dana's room, right?
Oh, of course. There is a high probability that you are not wrong, Kate Walker.
Looks like the staircase serves every floor, including Dana's.
I conjecture that you are probably right, Kate Walker.
The second floor windows will be of no use to reach the staircase. Well, we can't get to the staircase from the first floor windows.
Indeed, Kate Walker, all the windows you could have used are obstructed.
The ladder to the first floor is up. It's too high for me to pull down. Looks like there's a mechanism up there to lower the ladder. That drain pipe leads to a ledge that leads to the staircase.
According to my calculations, the drain pipe will not hold you, Kate Walker. And even if you were lighter, the ledge is too narrow for you to stand on.
Hey, are you trying to tell me something, Oscar?
Yes, you are too heavy and too wide, Kate Walker, for the ledge.
Gee, thanks, Oscar. So basically, it's not going to be easy to use the staircase to get to Dana's room.
There is no other way. Access is denied from inside the first and second floors, and the third floor stairwell is bricked up. The fire escape staircase is the only possibility, Kate Walker. But you cannot climb up the drain pipe because of your weight and size.
I heard you the first time, thanks.
You are welcome, Kate Walker. So, the only way up is by the fire escape staircase, and that means lowering the ladder from the first floor.
Well, in that case, there's only one solution. As you're so light and slim, Oscar, you'll have to climb up the drain pipe and walk across the ledge for me. Then you just need to activate the mechanism to lower the steps so that heavy me can take the staircase route.
I was not made to climb up drain pipes, Kate Walker. I am a precision-made automaton.
Come on, Oscar. You saved the day more than once at Baranor. It must be second nature by now.
But how can I lower myself to scurrying like a rat?
Because you're a fine fellow and my faithful friend?
Kate Walker, help! I believe I am stuck here.
Stay calm, Oscar. I'm coming.
nice.
Everything okay up there?
Yes, Kate Walker. I just need to... Ah!
Hang on tight, Oscar!
Oh, I am, Kate Walker. Believe me, I am.
You gotta jump now, Oscar! Hurry! Well done, Oscar. Glad that you're safe and sound.
I guess that's one way of putting it, Kate Walker.
I'm also glad you haven't lost your positive attitude.
Phew. That useless body. Now I must find another way. And climbing up all over again.
Be careful there, Oscar.
Oh dear, that can't be good. Oh dear. Now, Miss Pigeon. Madam Pigeon then, I beg your pardon. Now, Madam Pigeon, would you be so kind as to make way? I guess I'm going to need help here. Kate Walker, I'm go-
How am I supposed to get rid of that pigeon?
No. No, I don't think so.
I can't throw it at the pigeon, but maybe I can use it some other way.
Made our point, I guess. Now, maybe this body will be useful in the end.
Better try something else.
Kate Walker, if I were meant to be used as a cannonball, I would have been given a fuse. This is highly irregular.
Tuck your head in, Oscar. 1,
If Hans Vorarlberg could see me now,
2,
how...
3.
Undignified! Oh my. Oh my. Really? Is this any way to treat an intelligent automaton? Really, if Mr. Vorarlberg could see me now...
He would say, "You've saved the day again, Oscar. You've exceeded all expectations by far." Okay, let's try and find out what became of Dan. No doubt about it. This must have been Dana's room. A part's missing. It's from the Music Academy. Music symbols, but they don't seem related to the diploma. There's something underneath. Can't reach it. Can't be that heavy. That's better.
Now's not the right time to leave.
It's blocking it. It won't open. I'm pretty sure I've collected all the clues I could in the room, though. I should take a look at the documents and items in my diary. The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why. Oh, come on. I'm sure it must be the right combination of symbols. Oh, I must have missed something. Maybe the wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why. This was written not long after her time at the refuge. A letter from Leon. So he did write back to Dana after the expedition left Kantar, the capital of Baltayar. The High Plateau of Baltayar, October 25th, 1937. My darling Edelweiss.
I hate myself for not sending you news more often, and for not being able to receive news of you. I find myself now where probably no other modern-day human has ever ventured before. I regret to inform you that I won't be able to go back to Europe with my fellow survivors. something bad happened during the expedition. I, no doubt, am partly to blame. Nevertheless, I would like you to know my version of the events. After hard days of hiking, we set up our base camp on the threshold of a high valley where rhododendrons grew. All the witnesses seemed to concur. This was where the Gorun, the famous man of the mountains, was most frequently sighted. For many long weeks, we explored without success every valley and mountain surrounding the camp. Autumn was approaching, the rivers started to freeze at the edges, and the prospect of having to head back with nothing for our toil was becoming more and more apparent. The joyful banter of the first weeks was no more. The men were becoming moody and tense. Especially our chief, Reinhard Berger. Up we get, Leon. Another day on a wild goose chase. I'd better get kitted up before going out.